Hey everyone, I'm traveling and of course my bicycle is coming with me. In this video I'll show you what are you getting for your money's worth if you choose to use this particular model made by Thule. I'm going to start on the outside and go on the inside, tell you about how the bicycle fits and what should you be ready for. In short, geometry. So let's start on the outside. The surface of it is textured like so. It's been used twice. It gathers some dirt over time, whatever. If this is a concern to you, I don't know, get a different material or different brand, whatever, get a hard case. This is also a soft case. It collapses under its own weight even when the bicycle is in it. So if that's a concern to you, again, get a hard case or a different one. This soft case also doesn't lock, so anybody can zip it open and take out anything. So if this is not how you want to transport your wheel set that alone costs $3,000, get a different case. Inside this pocket there's enough space for a 700C tire, spare tire, or wheel tire, whatever. Deflate your tire, and there's enough space for some of your gear, I don't know, some gloves or whatever, jersey, whatever you put in a Ziploc bag. There's enough space here next to the spokes. I just wrapped the cassette set with this rag lightly, something like that. I need a rag for cleanup, and that's how it fits very easily. The whole transport case has multiple handles, easy to grab, reinforced. None of them are torn or ripped or whatever, coming apart. They are all working fine. So multiple points of contact, easy to carry it, and it's on wheels. The wheels are smallish, but they roll easily on smooth surfaces, concrete or like this floor here. But on gravel, forget about it. On asphalt, okay, whatever. But yeah, so the wheels are limited, but they're not heavy. The whole case is not heavy, and airlines typically allow this whole bicycle carrier, everything set up, your potentially your tools, helmets, shoes, everything inside, to be typically 100 pounds or 50 kilograms, something like that. So they're generous with the weight, and they charge maybe $25 or $50 for handling, luggage handling charges, whatever, a surcharge, something like that. So when you open up the side, you're gonna have to sit on the liner, and it's important to keep the liner clean. Your bicycle is dirty, greasy, mucky, so before you put it put the frame in the transport case, you might want to clean it, unless you enjoy cleaning up the liner. The grease from the liner, I tried it, cleans up really easily with cotton rags such as those, because I smeared some grease here because I thought, well, we'll try it, so I did. So that's the liner. The bicycle is not perfectly fitted in the frame just yet because I'm working on it. This part of the frame is sticking out too much as is. If you look at it from above, like so, it's in the case, but it should move in about this much. But even so, it's not going to be perfectly centered. If it was perfectly centered, then those parts are protected well enough symmetrically, but it's not going to fit symmetrically. The drive side of the frame, especially this part here, is going to be closer to the outside because the middle part of the frame here sits against a block that's looking like this. It's this wide, it's on Velcro straps, so it could move about this much to the side. Therefore this corner can be further in that way by this much. I hope that makes sense, because the side of the chain ring here sits against the side of that block. There it is from the front. So that's how this looks like, and I'm gonna move it sideways there about that much to center it even better. Since we're down here, let's talk about pedals quickly. As is, I can zip up the case and it's not sticking out of the transport case because of the length of the pedal is only whatever, that much. If you have a wider platform pedal, you're gonna have to remove it because it's not going to fit. As I center the frame, that pedal is gonna be further towards the wheel. There's enough space. The center of the hub is somewhere here, there. So not at the center of this patch. And the rim and tire here, of course, are narrower, so it's gonna be moving sideways there. You can see that I have this much space sideways with that block on which the center of the bicycle fits, so don't have to remove the pedal, just move everything sideways to make sure this frame is as centered as possible. Out of caution, I removed the derailleur by its hanger. I put the bolts back into the hanger, so you need the tools for it and you're gonna have to put it back on. Did not disconnect the cable, it's just flexibly mounted here, dangling, and that's how it's gonna be transported. I just wrapped the chain in this sacrificial cotton rag here. The bottom of the bicycle is held down to this block on which it's resting, as well as this strap goes underneath that block and underneath these two rails. This is just some zip straps. These two rails that start at the front axle there, and this plastic block is bolted down to it there, and these rails run all the way out here to the end here. Okay, so that's what's holding the bicycle. That's the only solid part of this transport case. That's what's holding the middle of the bicycle down. To keep the bicycle from tipping sideways, it doesn't need a whole lot of force. I have two straps here to fit different 9 different locations to fit different geometries of different bikes. This is a 58 centimeter road bike, mountain bikes, whatever can be also fitted here. So the straps could go through here or could go through here, and so that's 3 spots, 3 spots, 3 spots there, 9 possible spots. So just configure it in a way that it makes the most sense. With this 58 centimeter frame, the seat post and the seat, of course, is removed. None of this fits, so this removes. You have to undo this one bolt, and you have to get ready for torquing it back to 5 Newton meters. It looks like, hey, there's a lot of space. No, there isn't. This has to be like level. When it's zipped up, there's not enough space here. Okay, with this particular frame, it's not the design flaw on the transport case. It's just a unique situation with this bike's geometry, perhaps. So that's those straps. There are more straps at the front here. This is just my frame back here with tools in it, and there are bearings and whatever inside the water bottle. Again, 3 spots there. Same 3 spots, 3 spots, and 3 spots, and however you can loop that strap around, keeping it from falling out sideways. Now, what's happening here? Of course, the handlebar is fitted back like so, still connected with its cables, so I don't have to redo the cables. But of course, the handlebar, when mounted, has to be dead level here, perfectly centered, and the steering has to be, of course, pointing straight as an arrow. But we also have this steering stand here that had to be loosened because there's no way that this would fit in the case. That's due to a combination of the length of the stem, the head angle here, and the fact that this is bolted down solid and cannot be moved further back. Even though there's a lot of space at the back here, it could be moved back easily, whatever amount. No, this is bolted down and it stays there. Therefore, the stem had to be loosened up. 3 bolts, this one here, that one, the head is from this side, and the third one there had to be undone or loosened. Of course, the handlebar mounts back with those 4 bolts, so you have a little bit of bolting there to do. 2 more straps here hold the forks. Throughout these straps, I don't make them very tight at all, because holding it vertically in place, it doesn't need a lot of force, so they are generously loosed. I'm not trying to rip out the stitching from the liner or the reinforcement or whatever. Same with these stitches there, so I just go generously loose but somewhat functional. Okay, so that's how this looks like. Problem here with the axle mounting is as follows. The spacers need to be rotated to fit this axle length, and this one is going to hit the edge with this long lever, this particular length of lever. No, I'm not going to cut the lever shorter just to make it work with the transport case. The lever, of course, is spring loaded there, so you have to loosen it up a little bit, and then move it, and then do another half a turn, and then repeat it this way, engage it there, move it another half a turn. You can see it's coming away from the frame, the inside of this flange here is coming away from the frame, and of course mounting it is just as tedious. It doesn't make a full turn necessarily. It's gonna get stuck in something, so rotate just the lever, and this way the axle doesn't rotate, and then go another half turn. So it's like 10 minutes to put in the through axle, something like that, due to the geometric oddity of this block that cannot be moved anywhere else. And even if it was moved, the length of the lever on that quick axle would still hit it. So that's what's involved here in terms of fitting. It's a little bit fiddly like this. Oh, I forgot, we've got pouches here. So I have some gloves in here, as well as some of the chain lube that needs to be traveling vertically for staying in a vertical orientation, as well as some hand cleaner, orange hand cleaner. And I've got here more gloves here, why not? As well as, of course, shoes and helmets will also fit. And for my 100-pound weight limit, some of the tools might fit, but lock, whatever, cowbell. But any loose items in here, if the loose items chip the paint, I'll show you. I did this with the trunk lid of a car. It didn't quite fit the car, and the trunk lid was bouncing here. Okay, so this is an aluminum frame, and it didn't destroy the frame, but the same sharp edge of a bouncing trunk lid would have destroyed a carbon fiber frame in no time whatsoever there. Don't want to repeat the experience with any kind of frame, but if you have a toolbox there and you hit some turbulence in the air and it busts your frame or fork or whatever, it's your problem that your items are not secured, not padded, whatever. So it has to be wrapped, thoroughly padded, the frame protected everywhere, and still, of course, 100-pound limit on all of this still is applicable. So that's what's involved. A little bit of bolting there, a little bit of bolting there, a little bit of axle turning there, and then fitting everything inside and then moving that block sideways. Yeah, so allow 2 hours for this geometric puzzle to unfold, and also 2 hours for assembly, something like that. Yeah, so, and lots of patience probably.